Hey tubers, KB here with Plague Incorporated or Plague Inc. Basically, you create a disease ranging from viruses to crazy bionic viruses and plagues to massively annihilate the world population. I selected to start my disease or my plague called Hello. That's kind of funny, isn't it? In Greenland. It's a cold climate. It's the north part of the world, and I want to spread it as quick as possible. By doing so, there's various different DNA strands and symptoms and the way they are carried on between different countries. Of course, this is the world map right here, and you can see I can transfer many of the diseases through livestock, through needle injections, to air, which is more commonly used in the airport countries and heavily populated countries, and also ranging into different data that you can pull from the world map on helping you greatly decide on what genre or what region of disease you want to go into. I can put different enhancements on my disease by popping these various bubbles that pop up and identifying and letting me know which way in which form my disease is carrying it, and for me to boost it and to help it progress into the annihilation state of my disease. I see on the bottom you have my disease, which pulls into the other different functions, how many people are infected by the world and each of the countries that you select, and then in the middle you have the world. The blue means that everyone in the world is healthy. When the red comes across, or portions of it is infected, and then the grayish, darker teal is the death. As you see, no one has died yet because my symptoms have not mutated into something deadly. I want to wait to infect the majority of the world before I start going down that path. As you see, mine just spread to Norway, and it's hitting the colder climates. I'm going to try to swing it from the top down. Some of the hardest countries to get into is the United States, and sometimes the more underdeveloped islands, but majority of the time it's getting into the countries. Once you get a couple people infected, a couple thousand, it spreads pretty rapidly depending on what forms of transferation that you have on that particular disease. And now you recently see a new bubble pop up here, and this starts aggressively going after the countries that you're choosing. Not countries that you're choosing, but more the symptoms that you choose and the higher rate of infection. You see on the very bottom, I'm trying to get into Canada, I just got in the United States. This is really good on the bottom. I have my infection is really high. My lethal capability is not where I want it yet because I want to affect and want to get in many people's systems as possible before I push the kill button, as they may say. Again, you see completely Russia, Asia fully lit up with my disease, and I'm slowly progressing to get more into the warmer climates. As you see here, just building a coating for that, and you see infection bubbles popping up all around the world in the southern hemispheres and the western hemispheres of the world. Now I'm going to involve my symptoms and allows rapid infection and more of a lethal hospitalization of my disease. This sounds really horrible, but again, this is only a game, and I hope no one's masterminding a mass disease. On the top you see the various different comments like Russia's government's failing and certain embassies are being rioted, or you have countries setting embargoes and various different closing airports and telling people to stay in, and various different like that, little helpful hints on what countries are doing and trying to fight for the cure here. You see the cure on the bottom is 24%, and by 25 it just hit. But you want to fight it by creating different strands and different symptoms to different coatings you can have in it with protecting its outer coating to warmer, cold climate and various different things to help rapidly change and slow down the overall cure for this disease. And to see the not cool little tip, but the tips on that it's killed more than smallpox, the Black Plague combined, and so forth. As you see, the whole world is red, and people are starting to die off really fast. Like nearly 2 billion right now have died, and everyone in the world is infected, so far so good. And I'm going to the tail end of my disease on trying to make it the longevity of it by not allowing anyone to get the cure and slowing down the research of it by hitting the bubbles and so forth. You can see that there's hardly less than a billion people left in the world, and I'm slowly on the tail end of my disease, and basically I've won at this point. I'm just letting it slowly evolve and just have basically the infected turn dead. It's a pretty funny disease to call it hello. I got hello. But again, this is a great little app to pick up. It's currently in the App Store and various other different platforms. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch everyone on the flip side. This is KB signing off. Have a wonderful day. And I'm shoveling snow right now. Peace.